You see the worst in people, you know. I know many people in Washington, D.C. that they would unplug your life support to charge their cell phone.
Most of you know there was another assassination attempt on Trump. I went live yesterday and talked about it. You're probably just as distraught, angry, emotional, frustrated as I am. I think this is going to be the most important video I've ever produced for this channel, because when you see the footage that I have put together, which is going to examine the root cause. I'm not going to talk about the dude who was arrested. I'm not going to talk about the fact that he had an AK-47 with a scope. He got within 500 yards of the fifth hole of the golf course. It was just a matter of time. Somehow the Secret Service took shots and missed him. He was arrested, and I'm going to share with you a quick clip of the actual sheriff who talked about his demeanor when he was arrested. It's shocking. His actions, his mannerisms, his state of mind, which I think is going to corroborate everything I'm about to show you. And so this is kind of a root cause analysis. I know I've said this before, but you know, you find somebody, you talk to somebody, a liberal, who is so afflicted with TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, you just try asking them one simple question. That's fine. You want to vote for Kamala? Fantastic. I just want to ask really quickly, could you give me one thing that she's done that persuades you, motivates you to vote for her? And 10 out of 10 times, the answer is, I don't know what she's done. They can't name any accomplishments. They can't name any achievements. They can't name a track record. The only answer that you get 99.99% of the time is she's not Trump. This is a mindset. This is an ideology. This is a parasitic infestation, TDS, that has turned half the country into mindless, following, zombie-like minions. Here's an example right here. Check this out.
Or Trump?
Kamala.
What's your favorite thing about Kamala Harris?
I mean, she's a black woman that's a Democrat, and it's not racist, so yeah.
She's a black woman, Democrat, and not racist. And what is your biggest dislikes about Trump?
He's a racist. He hates black people.
He hates black people?
Yeah.
What's your biggest proof of that?
Project 2025.
Project 2025?
Yeah.
What do you have to say for the people who would argue that he's not part of 2025?
You're just wrong.
What would you say is your favorite policy of Kamala Harris's? Making
sure, like, if you're able to retire, like, with dignity, so they don't want to hurt things. You don't have to stress about, like, making more money after you're, like, retired and, like, paying more bills and struggling to be, like, say, like, you don't have to worry about ending up on the streets.
What's the policy for that specifically that's going to help with that?
I'm not sure.
Not sure?
Nope.
What did you hear about that?
One of her ads.
One of her ads?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that she's been successful the past 3.5 years in office?
Actually, I have not heard much about her, if I'm being honest.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Yes, she's an adult. Yes, she's old enough to think for herself. When you get pounded every single day on every single screen, radio broadcast, TV, print, that this guy is going to take away your rights, take away your freedoms. He's a part of some elusive, mysterious, nefarious Project 2025, which he has disavowed time and time again. He has absolutely nothing. There is no proof that he has any connection to Project 2025. Constant lies that are perpetuated by this gigantic propagandist machine, which is backed by 99.99% liberal mega donor organizations and factions. This is what you get. This is the kind of byproduct that you get. It begs the question, why can't you just beat him on policy? Why, instead of spreading lies, they keep calling him a spreader of misinformation and disinformation, you know, talking about Ohio and the cats and the dogs. There's actually conclusive evidence. There's video evidence of these Haitian migrants barbecuing cats. I'm not going to share that with you, don't worry, but there's actual conclusive evidence that that's going on, from residents, video footage, from all sorts of people reporting it, calling 911, saying their cats have been abducted, their dogs are missing. There's so many reports that all corroborate that these stories are real. They keep saying that he spreads misinformation, but all they do is lie. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned American politics? This person wants to send the country this way. Here's my way. This is their economic policy. This is my economic policy. This is my policy for immigration. This is their policy. What happened to that? You saw what Senator Kennedy said at the top of this video. Most of these people in Washington will unplug your life support to charge their phone. They will do anything to win. And that kind of narcissism, that kind of selfishness, that kind of blatant disregard for objectivity and the truth has created what happened at Trump International Golf Course in Palm Beach, Florida. And many experts say, myself included, this won't be the last time. The guy who was on the golf course, I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to give him any promotion. I don't want to even say his name. He actually wrote a book, and in one of the passages you can see highlighted, he says, "You are free to assassinate Trump as well for me, that error in judgment and the dismantling of the deal." And there's this, Time post that actually got community noted on X because it said that his political ideology was uncertain. He had a Biden-Harris bumper sticker on his truck. I don't really call that a mysterious political ideology or uncertain. It seems quite clear where he lies politically. So who's the real culprit here? What's the root cause? Well, here's a clip that might shed a little bit of light.
It is just unquestionable at this point that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
That's a congressman. This is somebody who is an actual elected member of our legislature here in the United States of America, saying that a political opponent must be eliminated, that he absolutely cannot hold office again. Representative Goldman, shame on you. You, sir, have blood on your hands. MSNBC and the rest of the woke mafia media, shame on you for giving that a platform and not pushing back. Much like David Muir and Lindsay in the debate, didn't push back at all on all of Kamala Harris's lies. The propagandist machine is in full stride, running more powerful propaganda than they ever have before. Hey, Nez, that's just one member of Congress. It can't be all of them, can it? There can't be any more. Oh, let's just see what former Senator Claire McCaskill has to say.
A lot of people have tried to draw similarities between Mussolini and Hitler and the use of the terminology like vermin and the drive that those men had towards autocracy and dictatorship. The difference, though, I think makes Donald Trump even more dangerous.
That's right. You heard that correct, Nez Nation, my fellow Americans. A former senator saying that Donald Trump is actually worse than Hitler, who killed tens of millions of people, and Mussolini. Wait, there's more.
I talk about the fact that when we swore in finally in January, that we swore to defend against those that are coming against us, whether they are domestic or international. And right now, I feel like MAGA in general, they are threats to us domestically.
Some of those were more recent. How about, like Nez, you can't just because a couple of people say something recently, that doesn't really speak to the sort of cultivation of this through propaganda and through perpetuation of painting this man, Donald Trump, the former president, as this evil autocrat. But surely you have more than that, right? Dating back, that really you can really give this a thorough root cause analysis case study. I sure do. Here is a couple of minutes of clip after clip after clip of the mainstream media and the people who are supposed to be bigger than this, issuing statements that just make my blood absolutely boil, and they should make yours too.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
These are the leaders? These are the elected leaders of the left, of the Liberal Party? I want to punch him in the face. I'll take him out tonight. Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him? Oh, you say, well, Nez, this is just an isolated incident. This is just a crazy dude. Trump sometimes says some crazy stuff too. Yeah, Trump does say some crazy stuff. Not this crazy. Not go take them out. Not go hurt them. Not go maim them. Not where's John Wilkes Booth when you need him. He's never said anywhere near that. And if you think this is an isolated cause of just some deranged lunatic and it's not politically motivated, check out this eerie clip of the sheriff who was interviewed when they arrested this guy on the golf course. Listen to what he says about him and then what an FBI expert says right after that. Check this out.
His demeanor was perplexing in some way, despite the fact that we had numerous people out with rifles, uniformed personnel, a helicopter, interstate shutdown. He was as calm as if he was going to a Sunday picnic. Our job was to apprehend the suspect. I mean, after all, he just tried to assassinate the highest profile target on the planet. It was extremely fortunate for all of us that he complied, because had he not complied, you'd be asking me right now, what were the circumstances of his death?
Listen to this FBI expert go on to CNN and say this.
What does the fact that he wanted to survive say to you?
It says that he's not he's not suicidal, apparently. He wasn't going to take his own life if he was almost being captured. Clearly, we saw that he was captured without that. And it tells me that he's probably much more politically motivated. The last shooter in Pennsylvania, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to promote him in any way, but he was clearly a guy that was looking for the notoriety of taking that shot. I would think we're going to find that this guy's extremely politically motivated, and that he probably was spurred on by much of the political diatribes that are going on these days, talking about Trump, equating him to Hitler and things like that. So I don't think this is the last we'll see of crazies out there trying to do this.
When you call somebody a threat to democracy, you call him the worst dictator, the worst autocrat, despot, tyrannical dictator, time and time and time again. Instead of actually maybe pointing and putting holes in their policy, what they plan to do, their programs, they'll do anything to win. They'll say anything, they'll do anything, they'll create anything, they'll make up things, they'll fabricate anything out of thin air just so they can win. And the reason they keep doing this, and they're not going to stop, I promise you, they're not. As a matter of fact, leave me a comment down below if you happen to see any ads or any Kamla interviews or any mainstream left media that are still using this inflammatory language. Let me know in the comments, because I know I will. Let everybody know in the comments down below where you saw it, what they said, what station, what network. I would love for you to leave that comment. I know for a fact they're not going to stop. Kamala Harris has zero track record. Her track record is Biden's track record. Worst border crisis in the history of our country, worst inflation crisis in the history of our country. We've got 3-4 foreign wars, forever wars, giving billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of our hard-earned tax-paying money to fund these forever wars. Crime skyrocketing, smash and grab skyrocketing, safety issues. We have prosecutors who aren't prosecuting crimes and letting criminals go. Migrants taking over cities. Nobody feels safe. Nobody can afford gas. Nobody can afford groceries. Nobody can afford food. Nobody can afford their energy bill. Nobody can afford their rent. Mortgage rates are at an all-time high. They have no track record. This is the only thing they have, is their massive, highly sophisticated, complex apparatus of a propagandist machine. So when you have nothing to stand on, you attack ad hominem, personally. You make up things. You do whatever you can. You kick, scratch, and claw, because it's all about the W. They don't care about the American people. Kamala Harris doesn't care about the American people. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. How many times do I have to say this? I know these people. I've worked with these people. I've looked inside their souls. There's nothing there. It's a black crater, a black hole. You heard what Senator Kennedy said at the top of this video. Most of these guys will unplug your life support to charge their phone. Their actions, their lies, their egregiousness, their deceit, their dishonor, their lack of ethics clearly demonstrated that time and time again. These are supposed to be the leaders of our country. These are supposed to be the people running the country. And this is what they're engaged in. They are engaged in direct, deceitful, dishonest lies and propaganda that has created grave consequences, that has gotten into the heads of these highly impressionable lunatics who think they're on the side of righteousness, who think they're doing the right thing by taking out this threat to democracy. This was just a snippet of our live stream yesterday when we broke the story, and you can see one of his tweets where he says, democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. We cannot afford to fail. The world is counting on us to show the way. That phrase, democracy is on the ballot, where have you heard that before? Then you ask, where's the president? Where's the vice president? Are they condemning this? What are they doing? Check out this. This should make you even more upset.
Do you have any more information on the assassination attempt?
I think thank God, the president's okay. I think we got a full report so far. We're down there tonight. One thing I want to make clear, the service needs more help. And I think Congress can respond to their needs if they in fact need more funds. So I know what I'm talking about.
Just said, I think we need to give him more help. He needs more Secret Service personnel. I think Congress should help. Now you're saying he needs more Secret Service? How many assassination attempts does it take on a former president for you to finally go, maybe he needs a little bit more help? 2? So it takes 2, not 1? Where was this 2 months ago? What's it going to take for this woke media to finally wake up, to finally realize that they have blood on their hands, that they have a huge contribution to these lunatics committing these heinous acts? When are you going to stop NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, and the whole lot of you? I truly believe some of these networks should be sued. They should face charges. They are every bit accountable, because this, my fellow Americans, is the root cause. Even after Biden said months ago, we need to, after the assassination, the first assassination attempt, we need to lower the temperature. That lasted a nanosecond, and they were right back at it. I wonder what's going to happen now. Well, I guess we'll see. My guess, they're not going to stop at all. My guess, they're the ones behind all of this. They wanted to see this happen. And there's a lot of reports, there's a lot of experts thinking that this is not going to be the last time a lunatic is going to make an attempt on President Trump's life. My fellow Americans, this is the most craziest time we've ever lived in. Thank God the president is okay. I need you to share this video with everybody. I need you to tap the thumbs up so we can reach more people, because this needs to get out. This is the reason that this keeps happening, and these guys are all responsible. The entire liberal, anti-American, woke media mafia is responsible for this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below. Sign up for our free newsletter in the pinned comment, show notes, and description below. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, and subscribe and follow over there. I can't wait to hear your comments. As always, God bless you, God bless President Trump, and God bless America. I'll see you soon.